individual is sovereign, that we're free to elect the people of our choice, that we're free to pursue happiness as we choose, that government should be small, that one of the purposes of government is not just to find the bad guys and prevent bad things from happening, as important as that is, but also to encourage the good guys, the entrepreneurs, the innovators, the students, the young people, the older people, that want to build and create, because as they do, they make us all better off. And one more thing I'd mention with regards to returning to the principles of our founding. And that is that we as a nation have been strong in part because of something I mentioned at the outset, that we are united, that we're one nation under God. One of the things I've been most disappointed in over the last 3.5 years is something which was very different than what the President spoke of in Denver and in this last campaign, where he spoke of a post-partisan world, bringing people together, having people in both parties come together. It's been very different than that. Even now, I believe you're watching a president who is trying to deflect and divert from his record by trying to find ways to, if you will, attack fellow Americans between rich and poor and other dimensions. This kind of divisiveness, this attack of success, is very different than what we've seen in our country's history. We've always encouraged young people, take a shot, go for it. Take a risk, get the education, borrow money if you have to from your parents, start a business. I was with a guy named Jimmy John. You know Jimmy John? Yeah, you guys know. I met Jimmy John. Jimmy John, I hope I get the story entirely right. I think, well, he graduated from high school, and he didn't want to go to college. And he said to his dad, "Can I borrow some money? I want to start a business." His dad said, "You know what? I just don't think you've got the discipline to start a business and make it work." And he said, if I'll loan you the money, but if you can't pay it back with interest by the end of the year, I want you to go in the military and sign up." And he said, "Okay, I'll do that." And I think he said he borrowed $20,000 from his dad. Was going to start a restaurant. Then he found out how expensive it is to buy all the restaurant equipment, and $20,000 wouldn't cut it. The only thing that would work for $20,000 was a sandwich shop. So he started making sandwiches. And as you chucklingly indicated a moment ago, you know that his sandwiches are doing pretty well. He's got shops all over the country and thousands of people who work with him. This is kind of an American experience. See it time and again. The other night I was with another restaurant guy, Papa John. Right? Papa John, I think he said it was in 1986. He opened his first pizza restaurant, and today employs thousands of people. We welcome that. We celebrate that in this country. It's one of the reasons we are the nation we are, is that these young people each anticipate that they're going to be extraordinarily successful, that they're going to create enterprises or have innovations that will change themselves, change their families, change the world. That's what we value. And yet we find right now a president attacking that. It's terribly disappointing and destructive and disheartening. We're a nation united. I can tell you, if I become president of the United States, I will make sure that we get ourselves on track to have a balanced budget. I'll make sure that we rein in the size of the federal government. I'll make sure that we have the best environment in the world for entrepreneurs, innovators, job creators. And one thing I can guarantee you is that I will try and unite the American people, not divide us. I'll not point at one another of American people and say, well, these Wall Street people are bad. All the roads in America are connected. You can't attack parts of America and assume America to rise and become strong. I won't attack this executive or that successful person. I will try and bring America together. The scene that comes to my mind as I think about this country is the kind of scene where Americans are coming together to help people who've just gone through a tough time. I remember the unity in the country following the tragedy of 9/11. I remember the experience I had at the Olympic Winter Games in 2002 and how many people came to volunteer. It's very interesting. We had a very tough time with scandal associated with the games in 2002. We needed about 25,000, as I recall, volunteers to come give their time to the Olympic Games, 17 straight days. And I think our first ad said something like this: no tickets to the Olympics, no pay, no glory, 17 straight days. Sign up quick. The opportunities are going fast. And we put this up on the air and opened up our website. 47,000 people signed up to volunteer. Just blew us away. The spirit of America when people are needed. The unity of this country. Another scene. I was serving as governor in my state. I got a call from the airport, and they said that the remains of one of our soldiers from Iraq was coming to the airport on a U.S. Airways plane, and they had contacted the family and asked them to come to the airport to receive the body, and the family lived too far away to get there in time to meet the body, and they asked if I could come in their stead. Our state capital is close to the airport, and I said, of course. We drove over there and drove out on the tarmac. The jet came in, the people disembarked, conveyor came out, and all the luggage was taken off, and then finally, after everything was cleared, the casket appeared, was brought down the conveyor, and the soldiers began to lift it to put it in the hearse. I, of course, put my hand on my heart, and the troopers that were there with me saluted, and as I was watching this scene, I happened to glance up at the terminal. The terminal for U.S. Airways in Boston has a big glass wall where this plane had come in, and it seems that the people who disembarked from the aircraft had seen all the police cars out there, so they lined up against the glass to see what was going on. And I guess the people walking down the halls had seen all the people lined up against the glass, so they crowded in behind them. And so there's a big crowd there. And every person I saw had their hand in their heart. It scenes like that come to my mind as I think of America. I'm absolutely convinced that this nation is the greatest nation on earth. And it is so because of the American people, a people who stand united when called upon by leaders to be united. A people who are motivated by freedom, personal, political, and economic. And that if we want to have America continue to lead the world in this century and provide to these young people and many in the audience an opportunity to have a better future than even we in my generation have enjoyed in the past, then we must rekindle our commitment to those freedoms and to that sense of unity. And if I become president, with all the power of my soul, I will devote myself to creating a stronger America based upon freedom so that we may remain, in Ronald Reagan's famous words, as that shining city on a hill. Thank you so much.